Morning, everybody. Thanks for watching. So I just wanted to touch on a few things in this video. Again, this is just my opinion on the Georgia Guidestones, James Webb telescope, and Cern. First, the Georgia Guidestones. For those of you that don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, they are a monument in Georgia. And you can look it up. I mean, it's all over the web, but it had 10 laws in like 8 different languages, and you can look at my video before that explains it a little bit more. But it was erected in like 1979, 80, mysteriously, outlining these 10 rules. The first rule was that the human population needs to be maintained at 500 million. So basically it supports the murder of 9/10 of humanity. If you look at the world population now being at about 7-8 billion people. But it's a satanic New World Order type structure that was demolished not too long ago. As you see here, now it's permanently closed. First, I don't feel sorry for anybody in Elbert County, Georgia, and Elberton. I saw some newscasts where people were just upset about it, and how can someone do this to a monument? Look, you have allowed a monument to stand in your county, in your city, that promotes the murder of most of humanity. And the rest of the 10 rules on it are satanic in nature. So find a different way to make money. I don't feel bad in the slightest for what happened to these monuments. But that's just me. I don't know if anybody is that interested in this, or if you watch the videos of, how it got destroyed. I have my own opinions on that. But my question is right after it happened, almost immediately, they just bulldoze the site. They don't conduct an investigation. They're all up in arms, like this person, whoever did it, and they're probably going to blame it on some lone patriotic American or something like that. Who knows who they'll pin it on, or if they'll pin it on anybody. But they say, oh, he or she could get 20 years. It's such a huge thing to destroy a monument. And if they destroy a monument, they can go probably blow up a building with people inside of it. So who knows how they'll spin it? But why would you bulldoze a site, a crime site of that importance, almost immediately after it happens? Wouldn't you investigate every nook and cranny to try to figure out what happened? No, they say it's unsafe. It's unsafe. So now that part of it was destroyed, it's unsafe, so we're going to bulldoze it. Well, guess what? There are people who are trained to go into unsafe areas to conduct investigations. But no, Elberton County just bulldozes the entire site without an investigation. How about you rope up the area, keep all the people who might get hurt out, and then send in the experts to conduct a thorough investigation that should last days, weeks, maybe. But no, you just clear it immediately and get rid of the evidence. I mean, what? I mean, if you go to a crime scene and the police enter and there's blood and destruction everywhere, do they say, oh my gosh, this is terrible and unsafe, let's burn it all and just get out of here so we stay safe? Or do you investigate every little piece of it? I mean, one thing that's clear to me, and I'm not a very smart person, is that whoever destroyed the Georgia Guidestones are the same people that erected it. There's no doubt in my mind. I mean, this just mysteriously happens that they build this monument and then they just destroy it without an investigation, because the monuments, whatever, I don't even want to call it a monument, the satanic shrine served its purpose. They're done with it now. And I don't know if you guys know this, that yeah, I think most people that probably know the Georgia Guidestones do, but if you're new to this, they had a message on the Georgia Guidestones that said there's a time capsule buried underneath the Georgia Guidestones that needs to be opened on this date, but it doesn't give the date. So it needs to be opened on, they know the date. They know the date. So that could be why they did it. And then they say, of course, oh, there's no time capsule that was found. Okay. You bulldoze the site immediately, and I'm sure you're going to tell us what you're doing or if you found anything buried underneath. That's how these occultists, they communicate with each other. There's a time capsule under the Denver airport, right, with certain messages and things like that. So it's all fishy. It wasn't, in my opinion, an act of, a vigilante doing it. It's the same people that planted it, same people that got rid of it because it was time to get rid of it. For what reason? Who knows? But I'm not going to shed a tear that it's gone. But it's probably much more sinister than we can imagine, as all these plans that these people erect are. So that's the Georgia Guidestones. Next topic. Oh gosh, and I'm going to do once I get done with what I want to do with scripture in the coming weeks or months, I'm going to get back into NASA. I mean, how you talk about occultists? If the occultists, in my last video, I talked about occultists a little bit. If the occultists had an organization, it would be NASA. And it is NASA. And NASA is the occult pushing, demonic, satanic, lying organization. Just because their emblem has Satan's serpent tongue sticking out on it, that's not the only reason. I mean, look at their history. Look how they were created. I mean, they have never told a single truth. Everything they try to prove is CGI. And I'm not even giving this James Webb. I mean, this time, I'm not even clicking on the videos. I'm not even giving them the satisfaction. Why is it, you look here, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? Why is it always NASA that has to describe what we're seeing in their photos? And then they point to something like this and they say, oh, that's a galaxy. That's trillions of galaxies that were created billions of years ago. That's what we're looking at. What? Every picture you have is CGI. Look at this one. Look at this one right here. The Hubble telescope and now the James Webb telescope. I mean, they even admit that they're all CGI. They're not admitting this right now, this cartoon that they sent up into space that's been traveling for God knows how long. These numbers, and then you click on it and it's a live feed and they actually come up with all this data. I mean, my gosh, the amount of deception and detail of that deception that NASA spins is on par with anything, with the detail of Satan's deception in the Christian religion. I mean, it's right on par. I mean, wow. I'm not even giving them. And what are they going to come up with? They're setting something up here that they're gonna come up with some big revelation that they saw something. Maybe the the day of creation or the Big Bang. They saw whatever their lie they're going to come up with. They're going to try to spin it, and it's all the same thing. It's all going to lead people, desensitize people into the idea of accepting alien beings when they're actually demonic. See, that's what NASA does. All you have to do is take all the stuff that NASA studies, like space and aliens, and just substitute that with Satan and demons, and then you have NASA. NASA is involved in the study, like Cern is, of Satan and demons and opening up portals. That's all they are. The space stuff and the research and all that's the front. That's the front. That's the lie that they have made up so that they can do their work and take billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of taxpayer money, the highest paid organization there is, to concoct and create all this false information while pursuing their real goal of aiding Satan and the end time deception. That's what NASA is. And I'll get into specifics of that later once I get around to it. But the James Webb telescope will come up with something, and it's all garbage. So I wouldn't pay any attention to it. They're a bunch of liars. It's easily proven. I mean, just watch their CGI videos, watch their green screen videos every time. I mean, you could see it all over. All over. It's not hard to find. And then Cern, I mean, it doesn't bother me that their emblem is a 666. I mean, that doesn't bother me. It might bother some people, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence, just like NASA's Satan serpent tongue. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. They're a good, hardworking organization with scientists who really care and really want to know the truth of the universe. Okay. Yeah. So Cern is in the same business. Opening up portals. They're trying to get to the very fabric of creation, and in doing so, summoning demons, Satan. It's all very sinister. They had a ritual where someone was this was in Cern, which is in Switzerland, and someone was videotaping them stab a person to death in some satanic ritual. And the person filming apparently got scared and ran away, but they filmed it first. And Cern's response was, "Oh, that was just a joke. Oh, that was fake." They didn't deny doing it. They said it was a joke. It was fake. Who jokes about that? If you're not performing a satanic ritual that means something, then you go out and you get all dressed up and you pretend to stab a person to death for fun. That's their official response. Not to mention that they have, where's Shiva? Where's the, what is that statue they have outside of Cern? Yeah, Shiva. Look at this thing. The Indian deity Lord Shiva standing on a child here. And they say, oh, it's just a gift. But you can read the inscription on it and see if it aligns. See if it aligns with these beings that I've talked about in my previous video. Cern, NASA, Georgia Guidestones. They're all the same. Don't trust anything that the mainstream media or any people associated with these organizations and what they have to say. It's all deception. Now, I'm not saying everybody at NASA is in on it. You know, I've talked about that crap before. Oh, everybody in NASA has to be in on it. No, everybody sitting in the church pews isn't in on it. NASA's compartmentalized, and people get so offended. Oh my gosh. Anyway, done with that.